In this video I'm just going to be taking the oil pump out, because when the engine was just ticking over yesterday, the black dial that goes onto there, I turned it right up to full. There was hardly any smoke coming out the exhaust when I turned it on to full, and the temperature gauge was rising. So I'm going to take that out of there. So I'm going to get that oil pump out now. Just get the two screws out of there. That's it off. Just block that up, pull that out. This is the pump I'm putting in. Just took the screws out. This is the one from the Derby GBR 125 when I stripped. That's the new oil pump on. I'm going to put it in the yard in a minute. You see the line on the little round metal bit, the circle underneath the black dial with the line on. And then when I move it, you can see that big thick black notch. I normally have it there, out there, but it goes to there. So it might be giving it too much oil, but that doesn't matter. Like I say, I always have that line on the circle lined up with the front pointy black thingy there, like that. See if I rev it a bit more, goes to there past the black thing. So I like to have them there, but it doesn't matter. It bleeded the pump. You just pull that off until the oil comes out and the air bubbles. I'm going to get in the yard, have it ticking over, check the smoke from the back exhaust, and then I'm going to turn this fully, as if you turned it fully with your throttle, right fully open to there. And loads of smoke should come out there, because not much come out yesterday when I tried it. So with the new oil pump on, enough smoke was coming out on tick over when I turned the oil pump up to full. So now the oil pump's good now. The harness has always been dodgy. That back brake light's on. It's jammed on the front brake, hasn't got the air lever in. If I push that it'll go off. Right, so I've disconnected the front brake switch for the brake light's not switched on all the time now. I'm going to pull that to work the brake. I'm pulling it there. There's no brake light. I've wired the two wires together. Would go to that. Disable work the back brake light. It doesn't. This is a harness of a working one I've got. On this harness on this bike, all the wires were just coming out. I put that 6 plug on it. I put all these on. But the other day I found out on the indicator what splits off 2 It's this black one. There's one trimmed on it with a one what comes to the side light, and that's it there. That's the indicator too. Each black wire off the indicators going to the earths. But I was looking for a black all over. So this harness on this bike hasn't got this on. But like I said, this is a running one, so I'm gonna quickly leave the harness on, but just unplug it all and just plug that on quick. See if I can get brake light working. I can't rig the indicators up yet because I haven't got the switches. But as long as I get the back brake light working, I know it's harness, then I'll strip that harness down. And another thing on this harness on the motorbike, what's on now, when this plug wasn't on and all the wires were just coming down, I had to rig that brown wire round up there, and that's to the flashes unit because there was just one brown wire coming out. So I added an extra brown wire down there into this plug here. And all the other plugs are good. They're all there. And I don't know if the rev counter on this bike's working or not, because as soon as I was starting up, it's just rising. There's plenty of water in, coolant. There's plenty of oil in. I don't even know if this is the right clocks, because it's only got 10,000 on. These clocks here are definitely of a DTR. And when I put them on and started it up, it'd only rise just past the C, like 5mm to the right, and they go up to 12,000. So I don't know if it's got the wrong clocks on, because it's got everything wrong on this when I got it. I don't know if that's broke, but anyway, I'm going to whip the harness on. And I've just put the other harness on now. The other harness, what was on it's still on. I've just rigged everything up. I'm going to get a 3 block connector what goes in there with 3 wires in. Put 3 bullet connectors on, fit them into them bullet connectors in. So I've just made that. So I'm just going to plug it in now. So I've got that in there. These rigged up to the bullet connectors going up to the back light up here. Anyway, I've put the back brake thing on. I'm just going to pull that now and test. That's it, pulling when I'm pulling the back brake. So it's the harness. So that's the harness. Disconnected the broken one off from the there. Just run down there. I'm just going to get it out of there now. Just put all this through there. So that's it all there. Just got to get it through the radiator. And that's it off. So we'll strip it down now. I'm going to check up near where the back brake light goes on. So all the wires at the front, they've all had new connectors on, all the indicators all crimped up. It's all working properly now. Got this back one what I've been having trouble with. When I took a closer look, inside still got the bit of the other bullet connector. They're coming out now. Oh, I can see it drops. It's come out there. That's what was stuck on the connector. So that's the back indicator wires all rigged up. I put new connectors on them there. Pulled the old snap bullet connectors out of them. They'll just attach up to there. There's an earth on this harness, I don't know what for, but I'll just earth it to this battery or something. Now we're going to get all them tidied up. This is to go on next. When you're clotting on with this, you don't want that touching the frame when the battery's on. So always have your battery off. Like when I'm messing on doing wiring, I just have these pushed in. So you can just pull them out when you need to do something. So I'm going to rig this up here. I'm going to rig it up here. That's when I'll be putting that red back into there and testing it out. And I'm just going to join this up at the back. One of the connectors off these might need changing. Now I've got the plug here on this end. I'm going to plug onto there, so it can just be unplugged instead of joining wires together and taping them up. So we'll do that now. So we've that little plug up now. There's the wires. Got a yellow and a blue, which will go to the yellow and the blue, and the earth is going to be going to the dark green. So that's the brake light rigged up now. The front brake light switched up, like before in the video I showed. The brake light works when that button's pushed in. So that's the brake light all connected up with that switch. Up with these plugs under there, and I've run them back under there. The brake light's on because I showed in the video earlier that when you brake, lever's pulled in, that button's pushed in, so it knocks your brake light off. And then if I let this button out, you see the brake light come on. So I can't test the brake light unless I unplug this. That's the black one there. That's the front brake light. That's unplugged. So now we can try the back brake just before we rig everything up, because it's nearly done. All I'll do is pull that sensor down there on the bottom of the back brake. The back brake's working, so all that's rigged up now. All this is rigged up, all the front's rigged up. Indicators are working, brake lights are working, horns working. Secure all the harness on here, secure it all on here, put the clocks on, put the headlight on, and the panel's just got to go on. And it doesn't need nothing else than that, because it's the engine is running and everything. Just to never have this switch here, it'll mysterious rider fixed them. I'll put his name in this video so you can subscribe to him, because he can make good stuff. Just he doesn't edit, he doesn't do videos yet, but he's done me tons of stuff. He's clever with bikes. Anyway, we'll start getting that harness tied on, getting a few other things done. We'll start getting that harness tied on, getting a few other things done. Now I'm going to put one of these chain guards on. That's the old chain slider off, and the new one on. People have asked if you've got to take the swinging arm off. Oh, I thought you did. But if you slacken your chain, they're going alright. Just before I rigged it up, I ran into a problem. Should think this is working. Right. All the brake lights have stopped working. Let's push that one in there if you can see. I'm pushing that. And on this harness, I don't know if you remember seeing it, there was a black spare earth or something. But when I black earth this, the brake's on now. Push that in because the brake switch isn't rigged up, so it'll knock the brake off. So the brake's off, so it's that earth. So we'll just put that earth on. The harness is all taped properly. Everything's on. I'm going to put the air filter in, put a bit of sponge on the front of there, because the sponge is weird off, I think, like I did on my oven. And then it's got the plastics on there, it's all ready on the clocks. And I need to find the back bit for the back of the clock. That bit what screws on there, the metal bit, I don't know where it's at. I've seen it lying about, but I'll find it. And I'm going to be putting sponge on the front of there as well. There should be sponge on there. I probably showed in a couple of videos, but people who haven't seen me videos, they'll see it in this video. That bit slides in the air filter like that. There's the groove at the top. You see where it slides in. I'll see if I can get it in so you can see the bottom. And there's the bottom groove it slides into. And that's how it goes in like that. There's no sponge on here. That's where the sponge should be, in there. Like, look at the gap. So anything getting through here past the air filter is going to go straight in went straight in the engine, which isn't going to be good for it, because you can see where it's going to be passing through all the way through this gap. So bought some self-adhesive foam, get 3mm one. You might have to oil it to put it in, to slide it in, but 2mm is too thin, it goes in but it's too slack. 3mm is fat, but over time it squashes what you can get in. So we're going to make a template now, get the adhesive sponge on and get this air filter in, and then get the casing back on. I've got some new heat shield there, I might put a new bit heat shield on as well. But this is that's the adhesive foam you sponge you use. It's 3mm, it's sticky on the back. Just make a template for the input on there. Some people put grease around there when the sponge is on for a good seal, so nothing can get through here into this part, into your engine. Anyway, we'll make the template. So there's the adhesive sponge. I've just made the template out of there. I'm just going to get that onto there now. That's the new sponge on now. That's how fat it is. Just going to slide it in there. Slip it in the groove in the top. And in the bottom you can't really see down there. Like. But anyway, the air filter just pushes in. I lit the other week. So now I can get this casing on. So that's it on. There's the sponge there. Tight as anything now, nothing can come round here and through there and get through that sponge into the engine, into the inlet and then straight in the engine. Now we're going to put this casing on. That's the casing on now. Just need to put the tank on. It's in the yard because I've just rinsed it out and put fresh petrol in and rinsed it out. It's still stinking. I'm going to bring it in when it's dry. Got the front cowl to put on. After the tank, the seat, I'm not going to put the clocks on yet. I'm just going to get it all run tomorrow because the brake lights are working and the indicators are working, so I'll be able to take it for a test drive. So I'm going to get what I've got to do next. I've still got the battery keeps going flat, so I'm going to charge the battery up and rig the battery in properly. Still got to look for one of them things for the back of the headlight. Could be lying around in here somewhere, I've seen it being there somewhere in amongst all this junk. Next I'll put the front mud guard up, because the harness runs under there. That's where the harness runs, you can see the marks. So we'll put this up under there next. That's the front mud guard on now. There's the harness, it runs down there. Runs underneath the mud guard and down there. Down the side of there. Next, it's probably going to be the tank. Once the tank on, the back mud guard, I'm putting the back mud guard on, but I've ordered a new one. But I'll just put the old one on for the time being, because I want to have a test drive tomorrow. So we'll get whatever else it needs on now. So that's it, all done and built up now. The back brake clip isn't rigged up yet, that doesn't matter. Oil pump I'm going to set and put the casing on. That indicators went off when I've pushed the cowling on. It's not one of the wires off, but the others are free to work. It hasn't got the clocks on yet neither. I've got a few sets in there. I've just bought that set today. I'm gonna put that on. But everything's on that side, petrol pipe. I'm waiting for a new chain guard. Another chain runner for the bottom. I don't know what else I'm waiting for. I don't think there is nothing else. I think it's all done. I've put these hand guards on, aftermarket ones. Well, the only difference in the aftermarket ones is that the hole isn't exactly there. All you do is put a 8mm bolt through and it fits, or a cable tie round there. It fits. the new blue mud guard, same as that. I'm just waiting for it coming, which will clean it up. It's a shame I couldn't find a front one. No clocks on. Both keys fit the ignition cap, which is good. Oh, and I didn't break one of the brakes. So one of the brakes will need bleeding as well. But it's about 9 o'clock in the morning now. I've been up with it all night. So I'm going to get some sleep and wake up about 3 and then have a test drive on it. Have a first start first, then test drive. Alright, thanks for watching.